Underfloor insulation makes a huge difference to the comfort of your home in winter and, believe it or not, in the summertime too. That insulating layer keeps your expensive heating and cooling where you need it most. It keeps your energy bills down while you enjoy a home that's cosy in winter and a cool haven in summer. I'm going to share with you today ecoMaster's unique installation technique where the polyester is stapled into place at 10cm intervals to ensure perfect coverage. You'll need a small plastic tub, a headlamp, extension cords, a portable residual current device or RCD, enough tarps to run the full length of the space, safety glasses, a dust mask, coveralls or clothing you don't mind getting dirty, 2 or 3 electric staplers and staples. If you allow about 200 per roll of insulation, that will be plenty. You don't need gloves because this material is safe to touch. Step 1 is to prepare your equipment. Your plastic tub goes underneath the floor with you. You'll need your safety gear, your extension cords, your light, your staplers and staples. We recommend taking a few staplers under the floor at a time because that means if one becomes jammed while you're working, you can just reach for the other one rather than crawling all the way out and all the way back again. It's important to use electric staplers because they're double insulated and you can't be electrocuted if you staple a wire under the floor. This is extremely important as there is a very real risk of electrocution when working around live wiring. So why leave the electricity connected? Leaving the electricity connected means that if the power goes out, it's a signal that you've hit a wire. If you leave the power off, you won't know if it happens. If you do hit a wire, call an electrician. Do not attempt to fix it yourself. If you don't have safety switch in your home, don't worry. Your portable RCD is effectively an add-on safety switch that will switch off your electricity if there's any fault of any kind. So since we're leaving the power on, you can use the lights fitted under your floor to help you see while you work. Step 2 is to prepare your site. To keep your insulation as clean as possible while you work, lay out your tarps under the floor, starting closest to the doorway and working your way in. Remember to overlap the tarps in such a way that the insulation won't catch when dragging over the top. Take a moment to feel the surface of your insulation. You'll find that one side is slightly more dense than the other. This is the side facing outwards on the roll. This more dense side will be the exposed side of the insulation when fitted, so remember to have it face down when taking it underfloor. With your overalls and safety gear on, it's time to take your equipment tub and the insulation underfloor. Drag the insulation over the tarp all the way to the furthest point with the dense side facing down. You may need someone to unroll the insulation for you at the door and feed it in. Step 3, staple the insulation between the joists. At the furthest point under your floor, position yourself underneath the insulation, pulling the material up and over to fit it between the joists. Feed the insulation under the bottom plate to ensure full coverage. When you reach the bearer, measure and tear the insulation. Polyester insulation tears in one direction. Make sure you tuck the insulation in so that it meets the insulation on the other side. Take your stapler and staple about every 10 centimetres to the lower edge of the joists. The staplers are more reliable with fewer jams when you put in only a half a clip of staples at a time. Any time that 2 pieces of insulation are butted together, staple the ends of both pieces to the floor pulling the bulk of it aside and stapling through about 2 or 3 centimetres of its thickness. This ensures that the join does not sag nor leave space for rodents to nest inside. We pull the insulation aside for 2 reasons. The first is that the full thickness of the material is too thick to staple all the way through, and the second, this would compress the insulation and thus reduce its effectiveness. When you come to a section that has wiring on the side of the joist, you don't want to staple into the joist because you'll risk stapling the wire. You may choose to mark the wires with chalk before you begin installing. So in this case, we're going to staple into the floor. So pull aside the material and staple through about 2 or 3 centimetres into the floor, just as you would when you're joining 2 pieces of material together. And don't worry, when you let go of it, the material can sit safely against the wiring. Sometimes the joist width will be too wide or too narrow for the material to fit comfortably into. In this case, we're going to go sideways. So turn the material sideways, put it into the joist in one end, and measure along about a joist width more than you need, and tear across the material. Friction fit it into place and staple the sides as you would normally. Then staple the butt join as you would when 2 pieces are joined together. And continue that process until you've filled up the whole space. So there you have it, a perfectly insulated underfloor that will withstand the test of time, making your home much more comfortable to live in, cheaper to run, and better for the environment too.